All right, so part three of our video is going to be focused, or part three of our lecture is focused on sexuality and intersectionality. So sexuality, when we think about sexuality, we can separate it into all different types of categories. We can think about sexual desire, sexual preferences, sexual identity, and sexual behavior. So really this idea, it really is supposed to encompass our emotional and physical attractions and behaviors. There's a lot in that one small word. So each of these elements of, let me post that too. So again, another way to think about sexuality is along these continuums from just not attracted to women, men, other genders to very attracted. And again, not posing any of these as opposites to one another. So when we think about all of these pieces of our identity, about our sex, our gender, and our sexuality, these are important to who we are and who we want to be, who we understand ourselves to be, and who we want others to see us as. But when we think about our identities, and maybe you can think about the different statuses that you hold, they rarely just get added together to make an equation. We can't say like female plus woman plus straight plus white plus mom. You know, that doesn't really equal who we are. It doesn't work that way. And it doesn't work that way. I mean, maybe it's pretty logical to you why it doesn't work that way, but it doesn't work that way because our identities are really complex in terms of where we're situated. So that brings us to the idea of intersectionality. And so intersectionality is the theory that takes into account the ways that multiple social identities overlap and intersect, and thus affect individuals' life outcomes and experiences. So here's some examples of pieces of identities: race, class, gender, sexual orientation. Sorry, my husband's in the video. Nationality, ability. I forgot. Religion, education, citizenship status, nationality, ability, family status, geographical location, age, and more. These are all things that make up who we are, but not in a simple additive way. What it means for someone who shares, for example, a lot of their social identities with me, but maybe they're not a mom, it doesn't mean that we just have completely similar experiences except for on this one little variable, because all of our different experiences will affect us in different ways. When we think about feminism and the earliest feminism, it was really for and about white middle-class women. They assumed that women were all in the same oppressed boat. But Black feminism really takes intersectionality into account and helps us understand how people, and women especially, are differently located in what Collins calls the matrix of domination. So she says that we can think about our social identities as interlocking systems of oppression, particularly for folks who are in marginalized positions. Now, I'd like you to think about this question, but also think about how you can't actually answer it. So how do all of your social identities collide to produce your unique life experience? We can't answer that in the way that we don't exactly know how they collide. We don't know how things would have been different otherwise. But we can think about how different ways, how different pieces of who we are intersect and have created us and have molded us into the people we are and shape the experiences that we have. This is the end of this lecture, and when you're ready, you can move on to the second lecture about the gender wage gap.